You know where we are. You know what they're testing for. Today's big developments comes from Wales and Australia and New Zealand. But let's start with Wales. Wales obviously is one of the countries in the United Kingdom. Brave Celts, very few of them, fought off best they could against the Anglo-Saxon invaders. Eventually, like us proud Scots, we just became part of the Union. But that was hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So in Wales, what frightens me the most is how governments and corporations are working hand in hand to prevent people buying tampons, sanitary pads, birthday cards, food, kettles. Get this, can you imagine? The Politburo at the Kremlin, the politicians in the Welsh Assembly send out a directive saying, perestroika, you cannot buy non-essential items. And instantly, because they're all working hand in hand, they all go to Davos together, they all go to Bilderberg together, they all eat at those expensive restaurants that you and I cannot afford. I'm talking about the leaders of big corporations and the leaders of government. So within minutes, supermarket Asda, it's not owned by a Walmart anymore. I think some Mancunian brothers bought it. Asda, Tesco's, Co-op, Sainsbury's, Boots. They started putting anti-peasant sheets on the non-essential items so that you couldn't pick up your tampons or your birthday cards or your clothes. Fair enough. It's getting a bit wintry now, a bit cold. You don't need a new jacket. You don't need that scarf. Blows me away. So, my face nappy tribulations continue. People are commenting about my throat. This is the latest iteration of my Crohn's disease. I know this disease very well. I take injections every 2 weeks for this goddamn disease. And it's because of this goddamn disease that I am face nappy exempt. So if you're wondering, my vocal cords and my throat are very inflamed. At least it's not my nervous system as it was 2 months ago. Got a bit numb and tingly. At least it's not my joints as it is every month. And at least it's not the digestive tract today. Because I could do with solid poos for a while. I miss my solid... Anyway, cut. This is Charlie Veitch outside the coronavirus testing facility. Goodbye. So what is very disturbing in Australia, what's that account I've been watching like crazy watching? Marty Fokker? Something like that. Australian bloke. Now what blows me bloody away about the fucking Australians and their fucking shrimp on their fucking barbie and their tins of fucking Victoria Bitter is that the police are going up to people asking to see their papers, to see their medical exemption evidence. Now this Marty Fokker guy, he's very clear in the legislation, he has it on his phone, that you do not need to provide proof of your exemption. Obviously. It's not Nazi Germany, it's not Soviet Russia. Your paperwork, fuck off. But someone's not told the Victoria Police in Australia about this fact. And they start believing a crime has been committed, even though he has told them as their boss, as the taxpayer. It's important to remember that. You, the public, are the boss of the police. Don't let them try and pull this whole Jedi mind trick on you, or this dark side mind trick on you. He reminds them of the law that, no, you don't have to prove your exemption. Officer, my staff member, you work for me. But they still press on, and by God, by the sacred kookaburras of Uluru, my fucking God. Now, I just wanted to add New Zealand in there for the daily hatred against Jacinda Ardern. I called her Jacinda Ahern. I think I was mixing her up with a DUP lady from Northern Ireland, Caroline or something Ahern. Look, Jacinda, you devouring witch. Leave the people alone. So, what I did was, I thought I'll try and deal in a bit of fact here. I went onto the official statistics about COVID, infections, deaths in Australia. And Australia is doing really well in terms of very few deaths. Did you know, a country as big as Australia, I think it's the 4th or 5th biggest country on Earth, has had less than 1,000 COVID deaths. Yet they've turned all their police officers into mini Hitlers and are going around harassing people with health problems. What the fucking kookaburra on Uluru is that? Now, New Zealand, as we all know, many of the world's billionaires have purchased farms, ranches, land, underground bunkers, isolated, gated communities in New Zealand. And my tinfoil hat starts to tingle when I see it's the Western nation, the NATO nation, with the least amount of COVID-19 and the harshest responses to it. There's a fucking traffic warden looking at my car. Fuck! I need to pause this, 1 minute. Hello, it's my car. What's up?
Oh, is it your vehicle? I'm just logging it in for 1 hour, sir.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Only for my personal records, but I'll delete it if you want. I thought you were giving me a ticket.
No, not today.
Thank you, I appreciate it. 1 hour, we get 1 hour. Yesterday in Manchester, a 20-something-year-old woman was fined £6,000 for failing to quarantine for 2 weeks after travelling into Jersey, which is in the UK, an island, from Manchester. And the way she got caught was that the NHS test and trace people, as part of their routine checks, looked up her social media and she'd made some public accounts with her in a restaurant. Timed and dated, stamped. I don't know who's the bigger clown here. I don't know, man. Anyway, the reason I'm filming the car park is that this is the busiest I have seen the COVID-19 testing facility since it opened many months ago. The testing facility opens at 10:30 a.m. It's now 10:40 a.m. I think everyone's here with timed slots. So the slots are full, guys. And yeah, no comment anymore. I've said everything I need to say about people who aren't dying or people who aren't very ill going to get a corona test to become a government statistic.